So I want to do another video on this because this is extremely important for everybody to remember and know where the blame actually goes. This was Trump's peace deal with the Taliban. He signed this deal in February of 2020. Realize that. He signed over in this deal complete control of Afghanistan to the Taliban, who is a known terrorist group, and even all of his talking heads. All the ones that media outlets that support him call the Taliban the terrorist organization. See, that he signed the peace agreement with them, and this was part of the Abraham Accords that was signed in Doha. Realize that this is all his peace deal, and realize this. He knew. He knew what would result from this. Listen to this that I give to you. The proof that somehow people seem to forget about this deal.
And Secretary of Defense Mark Esper. And I'll be meeting personally with Taliban leaders in the not too distant future. And we'll be very much hoping that they will be doing what they say they're going to be doing. They will be killing terrorists.
Listen to what he just said. He was going to give Taliban, a terrorist organization, power to kill other terrorists. Realize that. Let me go back on that just so you can listen to it, saying, "Oh, we hope that they're going to do what they say they're going to do." Realize also that the assets that were left behind were part of that agreement. The military equipment and assets that were left behind was part of the agreement that Trump made with the Taliban to take control of Afghanistan. Listen some more.
They're going to be doing. They will be killing terrorists. They will be killing some very bad people. They will keep that fight going. We've had tremendous success in Afghanistan in the killing of terrorists, but it's time, after all these years, to go and to bring our people back home. We want to bring our people back home. And again, it's been a long journey in Afghanistan in particular. It's been a very long journey. It's been a hard journey for everybody. We're very largely a law enforcement group, and
it's his deal, people. And this was an agreement signed with many nations called the Abraham Accord. And when you make a peace deal like this, it has to be held up, especially when you sign it with many nations. Continue to listen because it gets even better and more evident what his real purpose and goal was.
We have thousands of prisoners. We've killed ISIS.
I want to point out, he just said we have thousands of prisoners. Let me tell you what's in the Abraham Accord, the deal he made with them, and tell you how one-sided that deal was. The Taliban had 1,000 prisoners that supported our side of that war. We had 5,000 of theirs. Trump made the deal with them, and when this deal was made, everybody called him out because he agreed to release 5,000 of the prisoners we had compared to the 1,000 prisoners of ours that they had. So they had 4 times more prisoners that they got back that are known terrorists. Even his own supporters know that they call them, the Taliban, known terrorists, and see that he made the deal with them. And the deal was that they would take control of Afghanistan as we left Afghanistan. Keep listening.
By the thousands. And likewise in Afghanistan, but now it's time for somebody else to do that work, and that'll be the Taliban, and it could be surrounding countries. There are many.
You hear that? And that'll be the Taliban. He released them. He turned them loose. It wasn't Biden. Biden was only following the peace agreement that Trump made with them. Only following the protocol that was laid out by Donald Trump. Doing Donald Trump's bidding. So Donald Trump's hands looked clean in this matter.
That surround.
Let's listen to this. Now, here's the important part. This is going to be the important part to understand. Donald Trump knew exactly what he was doing. He knew this was not going to work. He knew it was going to fall apart. And this is his recent rally where he admits he knew it was going to fall apart. And he admits that he had tied the hands of government because he had already started to put the ball in motion. Listen closely.
Worse than Afghanistan. How about that? Worse than Afghanistan, where, by the way, I started the process. All the troops are coming back home. They couldn't stop the process.
I started the process. They couldn't stop the process.
21 years is enough, don't we think? 21 years. They couldn't stop the process.
They couldn't stop the process.
Wanted to, but it was very tough to stop the process.
They wanted to, but it was very tough to stop that process, that ball and chain of events that he set in motion. Let's see if he knew what would happen as a result of those chain of events that he set in motion.
By a government that wouldn't last, the only way they last is if we're there. What are we going to do?
He just said they wouldn't last. The only way they will last is if the America is there. He knew it when he did it. Listen to all that again as a whole.
How about that? Worse than Afghanistan, where, by the way, I started the process. All the troops are coming back home. They couldn't stop the process. 21 years is enough, don't we think? 21 years. They couldn't stop the process. They wanted to, but it was very tough to stop the process by a government that wouldn't last. The only way they last is if we're there. What are we going to do?
Go to and do your own research about this deal that he made with the Taliban to take control of Afghanistan, giving them 5,000 prisoners, releasing 5,000 prisoners of theirs, and giving them the military equipment, trying to claim that, they're going to help fight terrorists. How does a known terrorist organization fight other terrorist people? When they see America as the terrorist, understand that, and he admits that he knew that country would fall apart as soon as we left out, and he began taking those troops out, signing that peace agreement with the Taliban. He signed that agreement, people, not Joe Biden. Joe Biden, and he admits that they wanted to stop, that they were not good with this agreement. Understand that, very important. This was Donald Trump's doing. He knew what the results would be, and he did it. He put the ball in motion.
Defense Mark Esper, and I'll be meeting personally with Taliban leaders in the not too distant future.
He met personally with them.
And we'll be very much hoping that they will be doing what they say they're going to be doing. They will be killing terrorists.
A terrorist organization killing other terrorists. Come on, people. Are you that blind? Or do you have any better sense to see the truth?
They will be killing some very bad people. They will keep that fight going. We've had tremendous success in Afghanistan in the killing of terrorists, but it's time, after all these years, to go and to bring our people back home. We want to bring our people back home. And again, it's been a long journey in Afghanistan.
February of 2020.
It's been a very long journey. It's been a hard journey.
Peace deal with the Taliban. It's called the Abraham Accords. It's all part of what's called the Abraham Accords, people. Use the brain that God gave you and do your own research. Trump signed that deal with the Taliban, handing over control, and in doing so, he released 5,000 terrorist prisoners to them and even gave them the military equipment. That military equipment wasn't left behind as a mistake or a debauchery from the Biden administration. It was put in to the writing of the Trump-Taliban peace deal to supposedly give them the power to fight terrorists, a terrorist organization fighting other terrorists. That's all part of the deal. They get 5,000 prisoners back that we had, and they get military equipment, just like Obama gave Turkey our military equipment that they now hold against us. See that all of these ones are in on it, people. It's divide and conquer. It's destroy, destruction. It's war games. They love this stuff, people. Realize that many of them are heavily invested in the military triad. They're heavily invested, and they get those under-the-table briefcases full of money, including Trump, for making these deals that they knowingly realize will come to a war and warring conflict. So it's not Biden. You got to go to the root of the problem. It was Trump's peace deal where he released 5,000 terrorist prisoners that we were holding, and he even gave them our military equipment as part of to sweeten up that deal, people. He was sweetening up that deal, handing over the Afghan country to the Taliban, a known terrorist organization by his own words. Wake up and see the truth, people. Y'all being deceived by the serpent, Trump worshipers.